Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for the State of Illinois LaSalle Veterans Home virtual hiring event. A few things that I want to go ahead and note here before we kick things off and delve into our employer presentations. Just please make sure that you're muted. If you, again, are a job seeker on the line, make sure your camera's turned off for the time being. This will just make sure that we minimize disruptions while our agency presenters on the line are, in fact, presenting. The other things that I want to go ahead and make note of here before we kick things off, we are recording the session here today. So if you do have any questions, you want to review any of the materials, of course, that are covered here today, you'll have an opportunity to review those within 48 hours or so of the conclusion of this event. We will be posting the live recording of this to the Illinois WorkNet YouTube channel under the virtual job fairs playlist. Aside from that, we'll also be holding a breakout room session here as well after our agency presenters have concluded their presentations. So any questions that you do have for these folks while they're presenting, please reserve your questions till that time. At that time, you'll be able to, of course, join a room. You'll be able to speak with the reps that we have on the call directly and ask your questions that you do have here today. So with that said, and without further ado, we'll go ahead and delve into our presentations here. First on the line, I do have DCFS, and I do believe we have Shannon on the line to present on behalf of DCFS. Shannon, feel free to take things away.
Thank you. Good morning. I just want to share first our agency statement, DCFS. Is deeply committed to the welfare and protection of children. Our goal is to protect children by strengthening and supporting families in every effort, from receiving a hotline calls to reaching family reunification or foster care and adoption. Children and families are our focus. Next slide. I'm not seeing anything there. Next slide. Sorry for the pause. My screen is not showing anything on my page.
Like I do have screen share enabled. I just want to double check and make sure if any of our other presenters on the line can verify that they're able to see the screen share. Can you please let us know?
Okay. I can see this page now. This is in regards to creating an account. This is page 2, I think, which is fine. But this is something that you're going to want to do when you do sign into the website for the jobs website, DCFS.jobs or Illinois State. You want to create your own account if you haven't done that already. Next page. And once you do sign in and start to view jobs, this might be what you might come across. Say there's 69 positions here at the top. One of them might be anything from public service administrator to deputy director permanency. There's a large number of positions and with DCFS. Next slide, please. Okay, so once you've read through the job description, you'll see at the bottom something very important. The agency contact is the person that you will need to contact with your questions pertaining to each job description, and each contact person will be different. Now, once you've recorded that information, always keep that with you. You're going to want to click that button, click the apply button and apply for that job. Next page, please. Okay. So we're going to go over just a few of the details of some of the positions that we here offer at DCFS, Child welfare specialist. Some of the duties you would perform are casework intervention and case management functions related to the welfare of families and children who are in foster care or have remained in foster care. Child protection specialist. You would complete journeyman level child abuse and neglect investigations to include interviews, home and family assessments, and preparation of documentation for court preparation and or testimony. Okay. There are also trainee titles such as Children and Family Services trainees, and there are other trainee titles also. When you're working as a daycare licensing rep, you perform responsible licensing, monitoring, investigative, and enforcement functions in the daycare licensing program as formulated by the agency. There are also IT positions that are within the Department of Information and Technology, and their website is where you'll find their postings. We also offer clerical positions such as office associate or office assistant. And some of those duties would you perform complex, specialized clerical information and assistance, typing, record processing, secretarial and general office support functions, just some of those duties for clerical. As a reimbursement officer, you would investigate the financial liability of patients, their estates, and their legally responsible relatives. You might conduct investigations to acquire pertinent patient data, prepare and or assist in the preparation of various types of correspondence used to expedite collection of funds. As a paralegal assistant, the duties that you would have would be, excuse me, write legal memoranda, legal opinions, or other documents for review and approval by licensed legal staff or the attorney. You might analyze transcripts of hearings, prepare case files for hearings, and perform general paralegal support services. As a child welfare nurse specialist, the duties in that area are you provide consultation and analysis on health-related concerns in investigation reports, complex healthcare records, and other related materials. There are attorney positions such as at PSA Option 8L that always pertains to an attorney, and those are legal duties as an attorney. There are many more. They range from laborer and down the line to different storekeeper and many different opportunities out there. We have provided our QR code there, so if you were to scan that, you would then have access directly to our DCFS jobs website. Next slide, please. Okay, go over just quickly, brief instruction on benefits. You do receive, as I believe this is day one of employment, 10 days, I believe, per year to begin with vacation days, 3 personal days per year, I believe 1 sick day per month. You do have paid holidays. There are retirement savings plans, pensions. State of Illinois offers deferred compensation if you choose that, health insurance, life insurance, dental insurance, and more. Next slide, please. So if you have questions, could feel free to contact the DCFS recruiters at dcfs.employment@illinois.gov. And for the Illinois job postings, you visit the DCFS jobs at illinois.gov for all the postings, the same as the QR code you might have scanned earlier. We have a hotline for child abuse and neglect, and you can report that to 800-25 abuse. Non-emergency online reporting system is dcfsonlinereporting.dcfs.illinois.gov. Next slide, please. Thank you.
Thank you for that presentation, Shannon. And again, if you have any questions for Shannon regarding employment opportunities at DCFS, feel free to join the breakout room here shortly and ask any questions that you do have. Thank you, Sharon. Next up, we do have IDOC, and we do have Tara on the line to present. Tara, feel free to take things away.
Good morning. You can go ahead with the next slide, please. The mission of the Illinois Department of Corrections is to serve justice in Illinois and increase public safety by promoting positive change for those in custody, operating successful reentry programs, and reducing victimization. Next slide, please. Okay, and one more. Here is the overview of our agency. We've been an agency for a long time. We have a new training academy that has been recently relocated to Decatur, Illinois. We have approximately on any given payroll about 12,000 employees, over 40,000 individuals in custody, and 23,000 parolees. Next slide. Most of our adult facilities are scattered around the state of Illinois, and each of our facilities have different levels of, those are all listed here. We have female facilities, adult facilities, we have boot camps and work camps, and we have reentry programs as well. Next slide, please. This is a map that kind of shows where all of our facilities are located. Like I said, we have them all over the state of Illinois. Next slide, please. We have a wide variety of jobs with a wide variety of education and experience that is required. Next slide, please. These are our jobs that require a high school diploma or GED. Our biggest one, obviously, is corrections officer, but we have vacancies in all of our facilities statewide with some of the titles that are listed here. Next slide, please. These are our positions that require a minimum of 2 years of college, a certificate or license. They are in nursing, accounting, and our dietary needs. Next slide, please. These are our positions that have 4 or more years of college. We have a treatment center located in Joliet only. We have anything from mental health professionals to social work to teachers to management type positions. Next slide, please. The state of Illinois actually offers benefits mirroring what DCFS has already stated with health and vision and dental, 10 vacation days, 12 sick days that you earn every month, and 3 personal days that start at the beginning of the year or that are prorated if you start in the middle of the year. And then we've listed an example of a salary for a correctional officer on there as well. Next slide, please. We offer the state of Illinois offers an upward mobility program that's open to anyone in our AFSCME bargaining unit. And this kind of describes what that program consists of. It gives you priority for vacancies that are based on seniority. It also gives you time off to take tests or any classes that you're needed. Next slide, please. We have a QR code that's available to take you straight to our non-security positions, which is actually the state of Illinois website where you can create a profile, where you can list your basic information, your education, your experience. You can also upload a resume. It's not required for most positions, but we encourage everyone to do so. You can create alerts so that if maybe something is not available on the day that you look at it, you can always create an alert to that the system will tell you when something that you are interested in gets posted. And any kind of instructions on how to apply are going to be listed on that job posting. So you'll just want to follow those instructions for anyone that you might see that you are interested in. Next slide, please. This is some of the requirements for anybody who is interested in our correctional officer trainee positions. Next slide, please. This is the QR code. If you want to become a correctional officer, there's a different application program for that. You actually go through the Illinois Department of Corrections website. So this is the information for that. You can use that QR code as well for that. Next slide, please. The screening process, you get, if you're interested in becoming a correctional officer trainee or a treatment officer trainee, they have a screening process for those. And when you apply online, you get placed on a list and you get contacted later on when there's a screening in your area that you can go attend. And these are some of the items that you will need to follow if you're interested in that, or if you would like any more information for that. Next slide, please. We do have a few upcoming screening events. So if anyone is interested in those or want to be located at those, if you go apply online, you will be contacted for those upcoming screening events. And those screening events are security positions. So again, that's correctional officer trainees or corrections treatment officer trainees. Next slide, please. These are the screening and testing components to become an officer. There is a Scantron TABE test that you go through first. There's a physical agility portion, and there is an observation portion, and there is an interview portion. Next slide, please. Training for any security staff is an 8-week training that consists of 2 weeks at the facility and 6 weeks at our academy that's located in Decatur, Illinois. And for anyone non-security, there is a 1-week pre-service in-house orientation for any of those staff. Next slide, please. This is photos of our brand new academy that is located in Decatur, Illinois, that was just recently opened. It's got state-of-the-art features. Next slide, please. And if there's any opportunity or any interest in internships, this is kind of the information if there's any interest for that. I believe that's all for DOC.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tara. Again, if you have any questions for Tara regarding employment opportunities at DOC, please feel free to join their breakout room here shortly. Thank you so much, Tara. Next up, we do have DHS, and we believe we have Zuya on the line to present. Zuya, please take things away.
Yes, thank you. Hi, hello everyone. This is Zuya from the Illinois Department of Human Services. Just to keep it quick and simple, we are one of the largest state agencies, and we currently have over 13,000 employees statewide. Given the size, is also about 53% of working population is culturally diverse. So we encourage everyone to apply and or at least to browse the variety of positions we have for you. Next, please. Thank you. So in brief, IDHS was formed with goals to achieve economic independence. We help others who face living challenges and hardships, and to provide our people with streamlined access to different kinds of public services and programs. Alongside, we have a total of 6 divisions to deliver and form as a mediums between the agency and the public. For example, our divisions of developmental disabilities and mental health provide support and provide optimal access to mental health care and services. They have 14 developmental and mental health centers across the state. We also have the family and community services that we usually call the public aid buildings, where people can visit and also sign up for any of the federal benefits and ask for additional aid assistance. So next we have the Division of Rehabilitation Services, DRS, help people with disabilities and their families to achieve full community participations, and currently has 45 offices and 3 schools for deaf and visually impaired individuals. So with all the divisions, it's important to know that at least 1 out of 3 residents in the state of Illinois is affected by our services overall. And the agency is working hard towards improving people's lives in many ways. Next, please. So while we have so many divisions under us, we also have different kinds of positions that need to be filled within those facilities. We continue to hire in these professional titles you see over here, which might require higher levels of experience or education for positions. Just to highlight a few here. First, our social service career trainee titles requires bachelor degrees and work at our public aid buildings or FCRC that I just mentioned. Part of their duties, they greet clients, manage cases, and recommend public aid programs and services that our clients may qualify for. They also guide our client through the application and the recertification process, or basically performing the clerical functions. The registered nurse 1 and 2 titles require state licenses, but only requires an associate or a diploma degree from proving nursing program. They're the ones who are responsible to carry out nursing care and assignments to medical standards for patients at the healthcare facility that we discussed. Next, please. While we have those professional titles, we also have many entry-level positions for people to be considered as well. These positions may require either a high school diploma or an associate degree only. Same, we will speak on some of the high needs one here. The first one we see over here is our mental health technician trainee title. They work in mental health or developmental disability centers. It is what we call similar to the certified nursing assistant position, CNA, but it does not require any licenses or certifications. All you will need is either a high school diploma, GED, or something equivalent, which means that we will teach you everything you need to know at work. And we also have different levels of office titles available. Office assistants, office associate. There's always going to be a need for office duties, no matter which, say, agencies you want to work for. They sometimes handle and process incoming and outgoing mails, or basically get them to the right places, or managing, organizing files accordingly. And finally, we also have our cook 1 and 2 job titles. They cook a large amount of food according to certain dietary plans or requests for those residents living in our 24/7 residentials. As one of the qualifications for this position, applicants would either need a food service sanitation certifications or a certified food protection manager license for this job. Next, please. It's also hard not to mention that we also have like great benefits packages to our employees. There's no waiting period for the benefits, including the affordable insurance plans. Working for us also get you the state pension, and you will also have the huge flexibility to change and advance your career with us through the Our Mobility program. As a bonus, we also have additional 5% bilingual pay. We also do have offered flexible spending accounts that you can use for your healthcare or children purposes. And of course, there's so much to the list that we couldn't cover today, but we do offer competitive benefit packages to our employees. Next, please. So when you have a question or just need additional help, the recruitment team, including myself here, is going to help you and connect you to the resources that you need at any time. Next, please. Thank you. So how to apply with us? First of all, please visit our website to see all the real-time DHS vacancies at dhs.state.il.us/jobs. And search jobs by using keywords like location, job titles, or even job function to narrow down your interest more. To apply any of the title you see, you would have to initially create a profile and submit your online application with us. And there's no limit on how many jobs you can apply. It's always helpful to set up job alerts that will keep you informed on any of the future opportunity with us. And just to add, we also have the Veterans Outreach Program. If you are a veteran, you may get preferences by receiving extra points added to your passing grade and appointment preferences. But first, you must establish your status in order to be eligible. And here's the video link to our promotional video that Daniel might be able to share the PowerPoint slides with you all later, or I can also show it in a later section today if the permission is given. Next, please. So if you have any questions regarding the application process or just in general, feel free to contact the recruitment team at dhs.recruitment@illinois.gov. Again, to search our jobs, you can always use the link in the middle here, which is the official applying website with us. Or you can also visit our DHS website and scroll to the very bottom of the page saying that we are hiring. That will also take you directly to the recruitment webpage for more other useful information. So yes, so thank you for listening in, and this will conclude for today. I hope to share more information with you all soon. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for that presentation, Zuya. We did get a couple new folks on the line. So if you do have any questions for our presenters here today, we will be holding breakout rooms where you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions that you do have of our representatives here on the line directly. Thank you so much, Zuya. Our final presenter here before we open up the breakout rooms is the Department of Veteran Affairs. And I do believe we have Alexandria on the line to present. Feel free to take things away.
Hello. Our presentation is very brief, so I'll just start out. I'm Alexandria Pachetti from Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs. Our mission As an expression of our gratitude for their service to our country, we are committed to empowering veterans and their families to thrive in Illinois. Every encounter we have with them is met with dignity and respect as we understand the challenges of military service and the lifelong impact it has on their lives. We have 5 veterans homes throughout Illinois to include Manteno, LaSalle, Quincy, Anna, and our newest location in Chicago. We are currently filling vacancies in all departments. Our central office is located in Springfield, Illinois. We have multiple Veteran Service Office locations throughout the state. Our website is listed www.illinois.gov/veterans, and LaSalle Veterans Home is located at 1015 O'Connor. This is a brief overview of the positions that we have currently posted. We have Veterans Nursing Assisted Certified, which is the CNA. We have various shifts available, which are 11 to 7. We have 14 vacancies. 3 to 11, we have 14 vacancies as well. And then we have part-time 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. with 3 vacancies. This is a non-interview sequence, so you would just apply, and if you are randomly selected, we would go ahead and start making job offers. We do have, of course, additional backgrounds that have to be completed prior to starting with us. Minimum qualifications include successful completion of an Illinois approved basic nursing assistant training program consisting of a minimum of 120 hours of instruction, which shall include at least 80 hours of theoretical instruction and 40 hours of clinical practice. And then in compliance with section 340.1376 of the Illinois Administrative Code requires inclusion on the Illinois Department of Public Health Nurse Aid Registry. And it is an upward mobility title. We also have Executive 2. The working title is Activities Volunteer Coordinator. Minimum qualification requires knowledge, skill, and mental development equivalent to completion of 4 years of college, preferably with courses in business or public administration. Requires 2 years of responsible administrative experience in a public or business organization. We also have a stores clerk. This is an interview sequence and requires knowledge, skill, and mental development equivalent to completion of 4 years of high school. We have a support service worker and dietary. This is another non-interview hiring sequence. Minimum qualification, knowledge, skill, and mental development equivalent to the completion of high school, supplemented by 6 months experience in a dietary-related support service. The next one, we have a support service worker in housekeeping. It's also a non-interview sequence, and the requirements are the same, other than no experience in the dietary related. The next position is social worker 2. This is an upward mobility title. Again, an interview sequence. It requires a master's degree in social work from a recognized college or university, supplemented by 1 year professional social work experience in the elevation and treatment / rehabilitation of mentally ill and developmentally disabled or other disabled persons. It also requires a license as a social worker by the state of Illinois. And then our last position that we currently have posted is a human resources representative. This is a interview sequence, and it's also a newly created position to help support the home HR. This requires knowledge, skill, and mental development equivalent to completion of 4 years of college and 1 year of professional experience, preferably in human resources, or satisfactory completion of an approved training program. I'll go ahead to the next slide, please. Our benefits, of course, are the same as everyone's else on here, so I won't repeat those, but I'd be happy if you have any questions to talk when we get to the breakout about those. And then we have the contact for the LaSalle home is Diane Spiegel. And then at Central, the HR specialist at Central is Shannon Leak. And then myself, I'm the HR deputy director. And then the last slide is just a QR code and the job links. Please do make sure that you search by the Department of Veterans Affairs if you're interested in any of our positions, or you can search by the job titles. So that is everything that we have for you.
Over to our breakout rooms portion of the event here today. So let's navigate over to this slide. One thing that I want to go ahead and bring your attention to here is just to make sure that you have the most recent version of Zoom client for meetings downloaded. This may affect some of the functionalities that Zoom does have to offer for breakout rooms. If you're finding that you're having trouble navigating between rooms, it could be that you're running an outdated version of this. This should technically upload, or excuse me, it should update on its own, but sometimes we have had select cases, unfortunately, where that's not the case. So just please be aware of that. Here are just some brief instructions that I'll keep on screen here for actually joining a breakout room. So you'll see the first screenshot there. When I open the breakout rooms, you should see in your Zoom toolbar a breakout rooms icon that's in the red square there. To join a breakout room, you'll just click on that icon. Our second screenshot you see here will open up a window. You'll see a listing of all the rooms we have available. You see here in the red circle, you'll click join and it will redirect you to your breakout room of your choice. When you want to go ahead and move between rooms, all you'll do is repeat the same process. So again, you'll click on that icon, it'll open up the window and you'll click join for the next room you'd like to join. Just a brief overview of what to expect here today. We won't belabor this too much, but you see here, again, each of our employer reps here on the line are going to be assigned to a specific room. We will be periodically going to between the rooms to make sure that everything's running smoothly. We did have 30 minutes set aside for the session here today. I think we're likely probably going to run more so around 15 minutes or so, possibly 20, depending on engagement. Again, as a job seeker, you're allowed to move freely throughout all the rooms. You'll be able to unmute yourself, turn your camera on, so on and so forth. And then last but not least, just a few ground rules that we want to cover here. Just be mindful of the amount of an employer's time you're taking, especially if you have other job seekers in your room. Just make sure, again, when you have asked your question, place yourself back on mute. Again, you're more than welcome to share your camera and video, and actually it is encouraged, but we do ask you to keep things respectful and professional. If for whatever reason you opt to not abide by those rules, we will give you a verbal warning. If you do disregard that verbal warning, we will permanently place you on mute. If you are muted, you will be able to still stay in the session and ask questions via the chat. Just be aware that you will no longer have that priority status, if you will. If you cause further disruption in the chat, we will have the ability to eject you from the session if need be. If that does happen, you will not be permitted re-entry. So with that, we'll go ahead and put our instructions back on screen here. Again, just keep in mind, that you will have about 15 minutes or so, again, as I already stated, to go ahead and move between these rooms, ask any questions that you do have. There will be a countdown timer in the upper right-hand corner of your screen that'll let you know how much time is left in the session. Once we've reached the final minute or so of that, there will be a 60-second countdown timer that'll flash on screen. That'll just let you know if you're still in the midst of conversations at that point, it will be time to kind of wrap things up. Once that time has elapsed, we'll be redirected back to the main session, which we're in now. At that point, you'll be able to leave the session. We'll be giving just a brief closeout of the event today, and then we will end the session here. A few things that I want to note. We have 4 agencies on the line here today for you to meet with: DCFS, DOC, DHS, and DVA. So if you do have any issues joining a room, feel free to message me in the chat. I can get you sent directly to a room by manually assigning you if need be. Aside from that, go ahead and open these rooms up now. Everybody have a great event. Thank you so much. Those rooms are open now and available for you to begin joining. Thank you. All right, so it does look like we have everybody, excuse me, back in from our breakout rooms. I just did want to go ahead and regroup here and see if any additional time was needed. Looks like we did have quite a few job seekers who have already hopped off, but if anybody needs more time, let me know, and I'm more than happy to allot a little bit more time. If not, we'll go ahead and close things out here for today. So I'll go ahead and pause and see if anybody needs more time with the job seekers we do still have on the line. All right, fantastic. I will take that as a no. So just a few things here that I want to go ahead and mention before we wrap things up here today. Again, the session has been recorded, so for job seekers on the line or tuning in at a later date or would like to review any additional material that was covered here today, we will be uploading the recording to the Illinois WorkNet YouTube channel under the Virtual Job Fairs playlist in about 48 hours or so. Additionally, one last thing I want to note here as well. When you registered for the session here today, of course, we captured all that information on the back end of our registration page. So I will be forwarding your contact information over to our agency representatives here as well within about 2 days or so. So they will have your contact information to be able to conduct follow-ups if they see fit. Aside from that, I want to thank our agency presenters for joining us here today, as well as our job seekers. Thank you all so much for joining here today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much, everybody.